are off. Welcome to the Deep in the Woods podcast, episode 24, 25, somewhere in there. Super excited for this episode. I'm Nate, as always, Hawks, and then special guest of the night, we got Jacob F. Full cord. So, super excited to have him on. We're going to hop into announcements real quick. We don't have a ton of them. Just sign up for the PFO, Vision Financial Open, if you haven't already. It's going to be a blast. It's filling up fairly quick, and it's going to fill up faster as we get closer to the event. And so be sure to... May 11th. May 11th. It's going to be... Everyone's going to talk about it after, too. So you want to be able to, talk about it, too. So
you got to be there.
Be there. Be square, right? And then that's the announcement. So, cool. Next, we just finished up Stony Greens.
Okay.
Week 6. It was beautiful. A little bit of wind, but we'll take a little bit of wind for how beautiful it was. How many guys did we have today?
43? Yeah, 43. You know something interesting?
Okay.
Mid-60s to start the day.
Yeah.
Sunny, a little bit of wind, as you said.
Mm.
There's a gentleman on my car today.
Mm-hmm.
He knows who he is. He might have a twin brother.
Oh.
He went ahead, you know what he goes, yeah, I will be surprised if we have 30 people here. That's all I got.
Yeah, and then
who does that?
Yeah, and they also didn't bring a basket today.
Nope.
You know what? That joke's getting weird out. I think we should hard stop.
No more jokes about the twins forgetting to bring a basket.
Yeah.
No more.
Hard stop. Cool. Yeah, Jacob, who'd you play with?
I played with Mike and David. We kind of fed off each other's energy. We started really hot, 5 down through 6.
Was the energy good or bad?
It was great to start.
Okay.
Fantastic weather, no wind.
Wow.
As we said, nice and sunny.
Where'd you start?
We started on hole 2, so we finished on 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Finished on a tough hole, but we got to the back half, and then the energy switched very rapidly.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the 10 hole though. 13. Yeah.
Different look. They put it higher than it traditionally is.
Yeah.
And
Who brought that basket?
Nolan.
Nolan.
Yes.
He deserves a shout out.
Yeah,
Nolan.
I think he was a 35% according to Discord.
Yeah, so we,
Bringing it.
I put my money on the 35%. I made a little bit of coin off of it, so it worked out for
It's
me.
good over there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So who else did you play with?
It was just Mike and David. They were the partners. I played with Jeff. Jeff was my partner.
Oh, Jeff Zelenko.
Yeah, Big Jeff.
Few guys on the top of the rankings. We
Yeah.
we thought we were shooing, and we got a rude awakening on the back nine.
Yeah.
What'd you end up at?
It was next 6. Wasn't the worst, but it was just
So you were
middle of the pack. Yeah.
5 under through 6.
Yeah, I finished 6 down.
That's tough.
Oh well. Yeah.
That's tough. And so, Temple, tell me about it.
10th hole was like there was a little bit of a tee pad where it was angled.
There's a lot of
that
that tee
way.
pad.
Yeah. I ended up on the right of that tee pad and throwing straight through the middle of the other tee pad that's connected to it. And that's probably what most everyone did.
Yeah.
And then you had to hit a gap fence, basically straight and right. If you threw over 350 feet, you could probably make it over like Dylan did. Not to call it Dylan, but it was right in front of you.
Did you go forehand?
No, he's the lefty. He tried to do
turnover
and just
okay.
didn't turn all the way over.
Oh, so he's just went straight.
I assume so. That's what I heard from
I see.
Peterson.
Word of mouth?
Yeah.
I hear you.
He'll tell us in the comments. Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was basically for righty players, big hyzer. They usually just fade out left, get a circle 2 putt,
but
take the par.
Where'd you end up at?
I had a fantastic shot on this hole. Got to 15 feet, and the basket was placed right next to a pole connected like little tires on the bottom, and there was just not a lot of space in between the rope, the tires, and the pole. We had this little gap that we were trying to hit, and neither of us could hit it. So 15-footer couldn't convert.
Ox had a good drive. He was off to the right. He flipped over. What's the really cool disc you threw?
It's the orbital. It's the purple and pinkish.
Oh yeah.
I'll
All the pros are throwing those nowadays.
that's what I'm saying. And this one is very special because your boy, Mr. Nick, he died this one.
Which we could transition after. Go ahead. What'd you do?
What did I do?
Yeah.
I missed my putt.
Okay. But you were close, right? I mean, did anyone birdie that hole?
I don't think so.
I'd
Let's
have
see.
to,
Hang on.
Check the old scoreboard. I think
What was
the
that?
scoreboard.
13, 14?
13.
13.
13. Yeah, no birdies. You got only 2 bogeys. One of them was on our card.
Yeah, it's possible that opening got a little bit smaller for a couple gentlemen.
Yep.
Yep.
They it was surprising. Like once the first player hits early, it's like just play safe.
Fine, hit the gap.
But Christian decided to take it. In
That
his
or
own
the
hands.
pressure gets you. Yeah.
Yep. And so
He was
that was
thinking-
if you would have got that, it would have been the only birdie.
Yeah.
You would have gone down in history,
Yeah.
and that would have been epic.
Darn it.
So, yeah, I thought that was a fun hole.
Yeah.
Challenging, and honestly kind of gettable.
Didn't look like it at the start.
Yeah.
No.
Didn't look it from the tee, but gettable.
Well, you say it's gettable, and we had no birdies.
Yeah.
Well,
Few missed opportunity, I'd say. I do like the regular 13, but I think it was a good addition.
It was a good little change.
Yeah.
It was nice.
It was a good little change. And I honestly, I had no idea what I was going to do when I stepped up to it.
Hmm.
And then Nate threw his wave on this steep hyzer angle. So it stood up and kept pushing, and then finished. It was a little short. So like, all right.
You didn't need to do me like that.
No, I say a little short, but it was good because had it been too straight, you would hit the trees. I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of erred left.
Yeah, and it was you had a.
I didn't realize realistically you don't need to be that fearful of the right stuff.
Yeah, no, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
Because that's where I was. So I threw the orbital as my roller disc on a steep angle.
Gave it
to
some
kinda
height.
emulate, and it just kind of
It popped up perfectly,
It stood up, but it went into the trees, and I was fortunate.
but you gambled a little bit. If it got through, that would have been perfect.
Well, I rarely throw that, except to try to roll.
Yeah, and
And so
I've
trying
never
to
seen you throw a
brand new-
roller, so
Yeah, it worked out. That's all that matters.
Right, it was, but then
the orbital was shocked when it got pulled out of the back. I was
Yeah,
like,
I was
is
like,
this,
wait a second,
guys,
time
this is happening.
what is
Is Hawks really gonna throw a roller on this though?
yeah. So it was a good idea on your part, and the execution was there. Fortunate to get through a lot of the bushes.
The problem is if you come up short, you got a long uphill putt.
And it's sharp.
Yep.
Sharp up.
Sharp uphill putt, so those are tough to hit.
So you were good in that you're off to the side, almost pin high,
Yeah.
but still
It was
50 footer.
like I said, there was only 2 bogeys. The rest were just
Yeah.
pars.
Yeah.
That's probably what was happening.
That was probably the consensus amongst the groups, just par and get out.
Yeah, he should have made it into an island hole. That's probably what he should have done.
Oh, yeah.
The obvious island hole, right?
Dang,
Right.
you screwed up that.
We screwed up. Yeah.
That's something else.
So we didn't talk about who we played with. I managed to play with Skyler, Hoxie.
I met him.
Yep. So I know you frequent Sky. So he was fun. He had this forehand seemed to be his strongest attribute. Everything else is a little rusty, but you can tell he's fresh.
He's brand new.
Yeah.
Played
He's fresh.
5 times.
Yeah.
I can drag him off the video games.
His elbow's very young, and so he can just do no form, just
Just
throw it.
it's all snap.
It's all snap.
See what
Yeah.
happens.
Baseball.
We'll get there.
Yep.
We'll get
Good
there.
vibes though. He did give us some comedy too. On hole 2, he decided to just lean back into his cart and just took a tumble while someone else was putting, and he held it there on the ground
That's true.
just to stay quiet. It was pretty impressive.
Just trying to figure out how to play disc golf. What is etiquette?
What is etiquette?
So we're learning.
He's learning. He's doing a good job
No,
though.
I thought
He was
played
fine.
good.
Yep.
Made a couple putts early.
Yeah.
Doesn't really have a putting form.
He's worked. Yeah, that's the part of the game you just got.
Yeah.
It comes in time.
When you play 5 times, 6 times. You
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then who did you play with?
So I had the fortune playing with Mr. Gregory Hessen.
He made some big putts today.
So Greg hit a couple big ones. We are on hole 1. and
You had a great drive.
the drive was up there. We're up by the trees. We're behind a tree, kind of a straddle. And Greg does this Anheuser with a fierce, and he was just all over the chains.
Yep, the chains gave him a hug and then said,
that was demoralizing.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a tough one. But then he hit.
and then you hit it. So it wasn't like a.
Yeah, it was fortunate.
You could see the energy leave you guys' bodies once that puck got pushed out. But then you stepped up there and you said, "It's my time.
It's my time. It's go time.
It's go time."
So I hit a big putt, and then we got on a little bit of a streak. But yeah, Greg was able to. It doesn't matter what hole we're on. Take for example, I think hole 7 is the par 4, the long par 4 from the longs. It's a great shot just to get to the short tee pad. Because all the trees and then you got to go down the hill, and it's like, well, I hit a tree because I'm like,
first available.
I'm trying to be a hero.
And he picked it up.
Picked it up. Let's go, Greg. Greg's like, I got this, no problem.
Yeah.
Just.
And he shaped the fairway perfectly.
He's right in the middle, always. He's right
Always.
Just throw it right there. Done.
Yeah.
So that was good.
You want to tell him about my hole 8 drive?
Your hole 8 drive.
It was the best drive I've seen on that hole. And it's 100 feet past it.
If you guys know hole 8, do you know hole 8?
450 par 3.
I don't need to my own horn.
No, that's a great call. I told you that. You either have to bomb one, have 500-foot power up over the trees, and to land in the fairway up by the basket, or you have to throw a wave in a sharp angle that stands up and pushes along the right side and keeps going. We're talking 60-footer.
Less than that, but this guy's not making 60 footers.
It was awesome.
I was just on the edge of the circle. Like it was like a.
Was it that close?
Yeah, it was like it was way out of my putting range, but in a lot of people's putting range.
Dude, it was one of those things where we threw our second shots and we started walking.
And we could have a conversation between walks.
We chatted. Talked about the
talked about the weather.
The
we brought up Jacob's name a couple times.
Yeah, Red Lions hats and stuff. How the Red Wings are gonna make the playoffs. Oh, and then we finally. It was great.
It was wild. I've never even come close to getting that far.
I have never seen anybody, and everyone says, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna throw so far."
You don't know.
You're gonna get stuck in the trees.
Yeah, you're gonna get stuck in the trees. It's gonna flip over and go straight.
Never seen it. This guy.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
I did the thing that no one else could ever do.
Yeah.
So.
Ever.
What else happened? Christian was on a card.
Mm-hmm.
He was shredding. We got shout-outs for longest putt CTPs.
Nolan and Rick Trenda, I believe they got second place today, hit the longest putt. Grab that flag.
Yeah, that flag. If you grabbed it specifically, but was that in the rough when you're standing on the tee on the left side?
Very, very close to it.
So let's just put this in perspective.
Horrible drive.
Horrible drive. Atrocious.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Ugh.
And then they hit the putt.
Yeah, they hit the putt.
50-footer, 45-footer.
And if I know Rick, it wasn't Nolan. You know what I'm saying? Rick.
Put the team on my back.
Put my team on my back. I don't know that. I'm just making it up.
It could have been. And then I know Kyle Kinninger hit. So we did a we did an AB and then a CD CTP specific, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, people ate that up.
Yeah, when you get 40 plus people,
everyone wants money. You know.
Okay, let a couple people win. So Kyle put one on 5.
Dog.
2 feet. It was a great shot.
Dog.
And then Dylan, I heard Dylan hit the one for the AB on 9. Got it pretty close. That's a tough hole. It's just the tee pad being slightly angled. It's hard to.
And there's always a headwind on the hole.
You don't know why.
And so
it's
hard
not
to
that hard. It's right there.
It's right there. Good on those guys for doing the things that we're supposed to be doing. Let's go over the leaderboard real quick.
We do got to call out one other guy. Don't know if any birdie funds were hit.
Yeah.
I don't know what the birdie fund numbers were.
One, I think.
Do you know what the holes were? I don't know what holes they were.
Did they did it though?
Yes, they did. It was 15, 18, and something else.
No one got it?
No, I think the top guys did.
I
think it was
It's always the top guys.
Andrew and Bop Bop Bop, eh?
Oh,
Bop, bop, bop.
yeah.
Little rumps and bop bop bop.
Yep.
It's almost like he's probably going to be
I-
top spot.
And do you know what's crazy about their round?
What's that?
You know, I'm just gonna. They were the ones who won. Andrew Rumps
Yes.
and Brendan Crocker.
Yeah.
They had a bogey.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Hole one.
who gets a bogey and shoots
And then
11 on
and then they've
Yeah.
responded with that bogey, and they went on to birdie the next
Yes.
6 holes. 6 holes. And so they birdied obviously 2, 3, 4 was a par 4, 5, 6, 7, and so they just went on a tear. And so, good on those guys, right?
Well done.
We're not there yet,
Awesome.
Well
but
done.
shredded.
Well done.
It brings me back to the time me and Benny went 12 down, one up them back in the day, maybe two years ago. So that's a shout out to Benny. Me and Benny went same course. Yep. I played longs, Benny played shorts.
Hi, boy, Benny.
So give it up for Benny.
Represent.
Way to represent. Just coming in second, Nolan and Rick.
Yep.
Big putts themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Christian and then Ken. So they are on our cards, tied for third with a lot of people. There was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams tied for third. My dad and Dylan had a little fiasco there.
You'll see.
You'll see. Hey, it's right here.
Ooh.
Dylan managed to find his partner's shins. And then John Vestal, Michael, I'm not
Ken
sure.
Furley.
No,
Oh, Pacheco.
Pacheco. Josh and Buff Nate, they shot well. That's an impressive grouping there to shoot that well. Yeah. So and then Chris, not Chris Clemens, but Chris Lemons, and then Aaron Bolin, they shot really well. I played with Chris at Palmer.
Mhm.
Solid player.
Yeah,
Solid
that's what you're
player.
saying.
Yeah, those were the big shout outs of the day. Thought everyone had a great time. Any closing remarks?
What is the biggest shout out?
Oh, you're right. My bad. Our boy Nick, right?
There is a green 1 on the scorecard.
Our boy Nick.
Yeah.
Your boy, Mr. Nick,
Mr. Nick.
cashing with a scorch, hole 18, easy.
And then let's just take a second to actually process what hole 18 looks like, right?
It's
Fair.
And I know we just said hole 18, but you listening, think about what hole 18 looks like, and then think about acing it, and then think about what you would have done if you aced it. That's what Nick was doing.
He couldn't breathe.
So yeah, so we had our first casualty.
Second after 10.
Yeah. So
So good on you, Mr. Nick.
good on you, Mr. Nick. We're happy for you. Sweet. Starting from 0 on the. Well, I don't know. Yeah. So, cool. Next up, talk about points real quick. Do we have an idea on where points are?
A lot of changes going to be happening.
Super quick. Just give a shout out for top 3.
So right now, Nicholas.
Let me preface. We're not including stoning greens. This is just the first 5 weeks, so there's a lot of irregular.
So we got Nicholas with an H, then Christian, and then Brendan, and then Jacob, and then your boy Buff Nate.
Dude,
Round
those
out
are all guys who finished at the top of the leaderboard,
Yeah.
aside from Jake. But just kidding.
Everyone has a week off. That's
Yeah.
okay. So now that we got 6 weeks under our belt, some people have 5, and you're going to see the points start to
Yeah.
not increase in big chunks, but just kind of steady up.
Real quick, who's your favorite? Just looking at it. Give me just what comes to your head, real quick.
Michael Thomas.
Oh shoot! What's he ranked right now?
He is top 10. He's running out the 10th.
Okay, Jacob, real quick.
Chris Lemon.
Chris Lemon, I like that pick. I'm going with Brendan Crocker. I think we're gonna have a first-time winner and first-time season. Because I think this is his first season. Did he come last year? I can't remember. Well,
He is such
I
an
feel like-
excellent putter.
yeah,
He's so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
solid player. If he gets paired up with anyone, he's solid.
Mm-hmm.
So next interview, ask you some questions,
Mr. Jake.
Mr. Jacob.
I'm here.
How'd you get into disc golf?
How did I get into disc golf? Well, I played a lot in college.
Really?
Yeah, I played down in Dayton.
Who got you into disc golf?
One of my roommates.
Okay.
My freshman year roommate in college.
What'd that experience look like for you?
Well, we had basically a course right in our backyard.
That's nice.
And Cedarville is where I went, right near Dayton, Ohio. And they were known for having lots of cornfields and plains and stuff like that. And the wind would often pick up a lot over those plains and cornfields. So that's how I learned how to play in the wind. Basically, you could not score if you could not putt in the wind.
That's interesting.
Our throws, to start, we knew they were just giant hyzers and just throwing forehands at the ground and seeing where they went.
Yeah.
But when it came to putting, we were like, okay, we got to have a little technique with this,
Yeah.
And me and like 5 of my buddies from my hometown, we all went to college together, and then we got into disc golf. Since I was an avid baseball player to start. That's where I got my forehand and all that. I played second base.
Yeah.
And it really just picked up from there. It was awesome having a good community of guys to play with.
Yeah, no,
Consistently.
it's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
And then where would you put do you have a disc golf pet peeve?
Ooh, goodness. When people play slow.
People play slow?
In front of us. So, let me preface this by saying, by play slow, I mean not like ignorantly, not like...
My big thing is like social awareness.
Yes.
Just understanding, don't start a conversation when you're up, right?
If I can tell if someone is experienced, like if they have like a Zuka card or something, like a bigger bag, I can be like, okay, you should probably know that kid.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all you Zuka carders, Sky, know what you're doing.
Seriously. So I'm curious, so when did you finish college? How long have you been?
2021.
Okay,
So,
so fairly couple
yeah.
years. Okay.
Yep.
I've been playing for 5-6 years now.
Yeah, just around there.
Ish.
Yeah, 2018.
Okay.
That's when I first started. Yeah.
And then, how do you get connected with us?
I played a triples tournament. That was
Oh, the Beast. Yeah.
yours truly right here. Yeah.
That was an adventure.
That was an interesting tournament. Lots of weather and
Yeah.
I met Aaron and all those guys in the
Yeah.
group. I think it was Aaron Dillon and there was a third
Ian?
person. Yeah, I think it was Ian. Yeah. Played with
Okay.
them. They kicked our butts, but still. Yeah.
And then, real quick, if you were to give advice to a new player who's just getting into the sport or newer, newish,
Yeah.
what advice would you give them?
I'd say don't throw Destroyer as your first disc.
That's healthy.
Yeah.
That's healthy.
Why
Because
not?
that's what I did, and that did not help.
Yeah.
Well, what are you throwing these days?
A lot of different discs, and guess what? I still have that
Still
Destroyer.
got a Destroyer. So plastic is super. You never know.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
a flippy one, you get a not flippy one. It's
Yeah.
just it's one of those things. Where,
If there was a disc in your bag right now,
oh, there you go.
where if you were to lose it and it went into the water, say, chest high,
Yeah.
Like
What-
she gone.
and it was you went and got it, which disc would that be?
Probably my Halo Destroyer.
Halo Destroyer?
Just because I know it so well, and I just know the turn of it, and it's beaten so well.
Yeah.
It's
Interesting.
irreplaceable. Yeah.
Even as Halo plastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not a Calvin destroyer.
No, it is. It is a Calvin.
Does
yeah,
it,
it's like
does it stand up?
a little bit. Okay.
All right.
I like that.
Got any closing questions for him?
Any big future plans like this summer? Big tournaments you may be attending?
I think I will be playing the provisional financials.
Big-
This is the biggest one around.
big-
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I'll also be going to Ledgestone.
There you go. Cause hang out with the fellas.
Yeah.
You're bringing some of your boys.
I am. Ben will come
Oh
in with
yeah,
us.
that's right.
Yeah.
Ben Dorda.
Yep.
Awesome.
I know where he's been.
Get him out here. Okay.
Yeah.
Should come hang out with us for the summer. It's always a good trip.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to playing
It's gonna be a
Northwood
blast.
Black. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
first of all,
Big
thanks for
arms.
coming on.
Big
No
arms.
problem.
Yeah.
Anytime.
So, want to thank everyone for watching. Do all the YouTube things, like, subscribe, comment down below any just controversy things. And then next up, we are going to Hox's Power Rankings.
Yeah, baby. And we're back. The Week 6 Power Rankings. Here we go. First, however, Mr. Drew Petsko posted in the notes that, in the old Discord, that he was sad face looking for a giveaway. So, I am here to give away the first person that I see in the comments discussing a particular something about this. I'm not going to tell you when because you might cheat. I don't know how you would cheat. Anyway, if you were the first person to do what I ask in the comments at the end of the video, or it might be at the end of the power rankings, or partially halfway, I don't know yet, you have to wait and see, will receive this double OG stamped Huron Valley Disc Golf 2021 driven by Innova Pig. I don't throw it. I'm sorry, I threw it once. I didn't like it. So it's been hanging out with me. I know there's a few people who throw the Pig. It's, I don't know, I couldn't tell you what kind of plastic. It's kind of tacky. You probably want it. So if you are the first to do the thing, the Pig is yours. So, we'll talk about what that thing is here in a minute. But, to the power rankings for Week 6, here we go. For the first time, Spring 2024, number 20, Mr. Aaron Nitz. Hooray! Hooray! Way to go. Up one from not existing to existing on the old power rankings. Way to go. I was going to put myself there, but then the algorithm didn't, so I couldn't. It would have been cheating. Number 19. Here we go. Down 5. Scene Clancy. Wow, my man has had a real fall from being high up in the old power rankings to the last like 3-4 weeks. Doesn't show up, doesn't show up, doesn't show up. And when he shows up, doesn't actually show up. I would not be surprised if he does not win next week, that he does not move up, but in fact drops. That's my guess. I'm not the algorithm, so I don't know. That's my guess. All right. Number 18, also new on the scene, Mr. Hefe Zelenko. Up 1, 2, 3 from not on to on. Didn't play fantastic this past week, but his record goes to show the last few weeks prior to that he probably should have been on here. I don't know what happened with the algorithm, I can tell you. But he's consistently performed, and obviously the algorithm recognizes. So, good on you, Mr. Jeff. Up to number 17, we have also new on the scene, who has been kind of a dark horse, Josh S. I believe it's Scartle. Oh, Josh, I don't know the last name. I think it's Scartle. Anyway, he is also new on the scene. Up 4, he is performing quite well as of these last few weeks. And he and I actually talked about some form adjustments. Not that I helped him, but it's good to discuss. And I see the development channel in Discord popping off. Good on you. Learn, get better. There's a biblical saying that iron sharpens iron. So, anyway, number 16. Up 2. Mr. Derek Vansel. Up 2. And how much people are moving and who's on here, again, I don't have any say over it. I just give you my opinion on why I think people have moved, whether it is up or down. This is my opinion. So, good stuff, Mr. Derek. Number 15. Let me see here on my paper. Up 4. Andrew Rumps. Up 4. He was part of the winning squad this past week. They got an extra 4 bonus points, 2 for the win, 2 for birdie fund. So I look at that and say, why is he only moving a 4? He's been the adventure is real with Mr. Rumps. But he deserves at least 4, if not more, bumping up to the 15th spot. So good on him. Number 14, we have up 1, Mr. Zach Costa. Up 1. He's just kind of hanging around here, not going anywhere. Plays good, plays okay. Back and forth. Doesn't play fantastic yet. I haven't seen him just break out, just crush anybody. Coming. When it happens, he'll jump up big spaces. Number 13, we have Mr. Alex Deal. He is down 3. And I believe it is a combination of him just playing decent and people around him just playing better. We talked about last week how you got to dethrone the champ, beat the guy ahead of you. Or at least that's what I feel like is happening. I don't know. Just there's patterns that we set forth and you kind of study. There's an art for it, There's like I'm developing classes to truly understand the algorithm. Got a couple courses, 100 level, 200 level intro, and then a deeper dive. But it's so intricate, so unique, really hard to grasp. I don't know if AI could do it. Anyway, number 12, we have up 1. Mr. John Vessel. Same kind of gig. Just playing good. He has a tough week, couple of tough weeks, and then he plays good. Week rough, plays good. Rough week, plays good. So he's still here. He's still not going anywhere. So good on you, Mr. John. And to round out our bottom 10, we have Mr. Andrew Rosalino. Down 2 out of the top 10. He's hit a bit of a rough patch. But only dropped a couple. So he's still in the hunt. So good for you. And now on to our top 10. Here we go. I'm getting excited about the music. Oh, that's right. To earn yourself this orange pig, I need to know what the soundtrack for the start of the power rankings is. What does it belong to? Where did it come from? First to put in the comments, it's yours. Boom! Here we go, top 10. The 10th overall, down to Mr. Michael Thomas. Now, Mr. Thomas, if you watched the video, I predicted you to win it. So, you got some work to do. I'm going to drop him down here, and that's not going to cut it. Just letting you know. Okay. Number 9, up 3. When he shows up, Mr. Tony Lewis. Although, while he scored pretty well this week, I'm pretty sure he was carried by his teammate this week. So, but that's why you play doubles. It's a team game. You're not riding solo. So, you can't knock him. So, good on you, Mr. Tony. Number 8, down 1, Jake F., our guest for the podcast. Now, I thought this was a little bit unfair, a little bit harsh, but I was trying to study up on the power rankings, why they moved so much, because he's played well the last couple of weeks. Had a couple, this past week wasn't so great. Wasn't bad, wasn't so great. It was pretty volatile up here. A lot of movement, a lot of changes. So I think he was just victim of how everyone else played around him this week. So we'll see what next week holds for us. All right, up to number 7, we have another victim of the circumstances, Mr. Justin Trenda, down 3. A big drop. Although he has not been putting up the scores that he was earlier in the season, he's still in the hunt, and rightfully so. He still bombs. So we'll see what happens here next week. All right, number 6, we have staying even is Steven. Steven Demick. Staying put at 6th, still scoring. So that's still scoring. So good on you there, Steve. Top 5. Number 5, we have down 3 out of the top. There's a niche Olas. I just want to point out that H. But he is down 3. I should probably tell you it's Nicholas D. Dolachek. Down 3. Yeah, so if you look at the scores, he's had a tough couple of weeks. And when I say tough couple of weeks, I'm not talking my scores. My scores are really, really tough. His are tough to be up here in the top. So that's kind of the discussion on tough scores. So still playing good. Just can't hack it though. Just can't hack it yet. We'll see what next week holds. All right. New on the scene, the biggest jump we have seen this entire season. Up 7. Buff Nate. This dude is back with a vengeance after being wounded most of the winter season. Had to take like multiple months off. Rehab the body, right? And he has proven that taking a little bit of time off, good for the soul, good for the body. So Mr. Buff Nate is killing his last few weeks, shredding. So up 7, biggest jump this year. Congrats to you, sir. And into our top 3, we have, I'm not going to say back from the dead, but back up on top of his game with, I believe, a 2nd place finish this week, Mr. Rick Trenda. Well done, sir. Well done to you. Back up to where you belong, as they like to call it, King High C. Better be the top 3. All right, top 2. I don't think it is any surprise, but the other twin, Christian Dolachek, moving up just 1 from 3 to 2 because he could not handle the heat that the number 1 was bringing. Brandon C. up. How did you move up? 3 to 1, up 2. We call him bebop, bop, bebop, bebop, bop, bop, or whatever on the old Discords. So Brendan has put together a couple of completely fantastic rounds and is scoring a large sum of points. And if I'm not mistaken, I would have to look at the old point leaderboard, point table, standings, whatever you want to call it. I'm pretty sure Brendan is on top by a substantial margin. I don't know if he's going to eclipse the 100-point gauntlet that Sean laid down a few seasons ago, maybe last year, last spring. But he is, if he keeps this up, it's going to happen. So, week 6, power rankings in the books. Good game.